Why is it we are not changing? Why? Because it appears we are expecting some kind of miracle, some kind of something that we cannot explain. And when we perhaps see that happen, we will say, oh yes. So this was one of the realities of the community of the Prophet. They also look at the Prophet and saw he was an ordinary man. And today when we look at people who bring reminders to us, we make up our own final statement, why we accept this message and why we don't. First of all, I told you, divine guidance will always come through human messengers. Our problem is we have not been looking for God's guidance through human beings. We've been looking for it through the Messiah, like the Jews, and through the Mahdi, like the Sunnis and Shias. So here's what they say again in chapter 43, verse 31. وَقَالُوا لَوْلَا نُزِّلَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِّنَ الْقَرْيَتَيْنِ عَظِيمٍ. They had to find fault with this prophet. He was too ordinary. So what they said? Why is there not a great man from the two major cities, Mecca or Taif? Why somebody great didn't come with this message? Why an ordinary man had to stand up with this message? So it means they're looking for excuses, they're looking for faults. And of course, it's not the end of that. Here's what they say again in chapter 25, verse 7. وَقَالُوا مَا لِهَذَا الرَّسُولِ. What's wrong with this messenger? What kind of messenger is this? يَأْكُلُ الطَّعَامِ. He consumes food. وَيَمْشِي فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ. And he walks about in the market. I told you, they are looking for something out of the norm. And you and I will follow them unless we change. You and I will follow them unless we change. لولا أنزل إليه ملك فيكون معه نذير. Why is it that a malak is not sent down? And when the Prophet would tell them what the guidance is all about, it is in clear conflict with their politics. It's in conflict with their economics. It's in conflict with their sociology. It's in conflict with their religion. When the Prophet would tell them that, what they would say to him, in the same chapter 25 verse 5, they will say, أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. These are all fables and stories of old. Perhaps the greatest mischief that the people of the Prophet and after him committed themselves to is recorded in the Qur'an in chapter 17, verse 73. And this is something really to study and to analyze. The Qur'an recaptures for us and says, وَإِن كَادُوا لَيَفْتِنُونَكَ عَنِ الَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ. I'm going to break it down in parts that you can follow it so you'll never forget it. Because you will have to decide after hearing what it means. The Qur'an is telling us about the people of the Prophet. It's not telling us about strangers. It's telling us about the people of the Prophet, the Prophet's own qawm, his own people. وَإِن كَادُوا لَيَفْتِنُونَكَ. And they did all they could possibly do to corrupt you. Understand this language. Fitna. وَإِن كَادُوا لَيَفْتِنُونَكَ. To corrupt you, O Prophet. And to present obstacles to you. وَإِن كَادُوا لَيَفْتِنُونَكَ عَنِ الَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ. They did everything to corrupt you and to pressurize you and to make life difficult to you with regards to that. عَنِ الَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ. Concerning that which we revealed to you. So what were they hoping to achieve? His own community tried to corrupt the Prophet. How do you try to corrupt an officer? An officer stands up there to dispense the law for the well-being of society. You corrupt the officer when you try to tell the officer to shut his eyes and to shut his ears. And you try to bribe him. You try to tell the officer the law by which he is appointed to uphold, he should imagine that law doesn't exist, maybe make up a new law. This is the meaning here. Study the language. وَإِن كَادُوا لَيَفْتِنُونَكَ عَنِ الَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ لِتَفْتَرِيَ عَلَيْنَا غَيْرًا. I don't know in Urdu or Bengali if this word is used, but in Arabic it is used. Iftira. It's tremendous in the Qur'an. Iftira ala Allah al-kadhib. Meaning to manufacture something that was not there. To invent something that was not there. Iftira ala Allah al-kadhib. To invent a lie on God. So what the Qur'an is saying very, very clearly. وَإِن كَادُوا لَيَفْتِنُونَكَ عَنِ الَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ لِتَفْتَرِيَ عَلَيْنَا غَيْرًا. In simple language, O Prophet, your people are committed to do their very, very best to corrupt you and pressurize you with regards to that lofty guidance we reveal to you, so that you can manufacture another guidance, so that you can invent another guidance, so that you can come up with something other than what we reveal to you. لِتَفْتَرِيَ عَلَيْنَا غَيْرَهُ. غَيْرَهُ يعني القرآن. You don't have to take my word. This is my research. This is my analysis. Take it to any of your scholars and get the lexicons and the dictionary and study it. When you and I claim that the Prophet brought something else other than the Qur'an, how does this verse stand? Especially when we bring all these useless, demoralizing kind of information about this Prophet. So this was the challenge par excellence that the Prophet faced from his own community. You look at anybody in any country, if he stands up to establish justice and humanity, you think he's going to be let alone like that? Much less the messengers of Allah. So the community of the Prophet tried everything. They pressurized him. They tried to bribe him. Because the verse ends, إِذًا لَاتَّخَذُوكَ خَلِيلًا. Then you'll be cool with us. Then we will accept you. Today, if you stand up and you preach the message that Muslims are here all over the Muslim world and in all over their centers, that's fine. But the moment you stand up and you tell Muslims to wake up from their stupor, to wake up from their slumber, to become accountable and responsible and intelligent